Like I had somebody steal my bike out of my garage years ago, and a cop came out, and I was like anxious for him to get there because I knew how he got in. I knew, and then I showed the cop where there was it looks like a thumbprint, and we might have a fingerprint right up here. And he goes, "You've watched too many crime shows." What? I watched too many crime shows. I think I saw on the Brady Bunch how to lift a print, motherfucker.
Okay, recording.
Hey, look at yellow pants on top of the mic. Yeah. Well, he's still got his torso, so he's a man inside them pants. Hey, it's ladies' night.
Right.
Drinks half price.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Good to see you.
Cheers, indeed.
I poured a stiff drink because I thought James Frost Wynn may be stopping by, but he's trying not to drink for a while. So I took a big drink ahead of him getting here. You know how weak them newbies are.
Yeah. Well, you don't want that sort of vibe bringing you down and
sure, yeah.
Promoting cleaning up your act.
Yeah, I've got my own hurdles.
We're counting on it, dude. We are counting on it. It's winter time everywhere. It's winter time in LA. I think it's winter in Arizona.
Fucking snow in here.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to get Chad, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we're supposed to get a foot tomorrow in and around the area.
Wow.
Down to 3,500 feet, and my house is at 4,500 feet. So yeah.
And we're just a little bit higher than that.
That's great.
Ain't no snow here. Warmed up. Yeah. I know. You know how I stopped it from snowing a lot out here? Is I bought a 5-day lift pass to go ski 5 times. January is almost done. I'm going to do some panic skiing in February.
Yeah, I guess. Well, Andy, there's no snow enough to ski on right now, is there?
There is. It's open a few days a week, so I'm going to plan sometime in the next. Yeah, I'm going to go 2 days in a row so I can make sure I at least use most of them up.
Are you going to sleep in your car?
No, I'm coming back down. No, I thought about that though, and then I thought about 2 months back when I was coming back from the desert party, sleeping up on the mountain. That was 2 months ago, and yeah, so I'm not I need a little. I'm fat, but not fat enough to sleep in that kind of temperature. Like that's why if you're fat, you can deal with it. You can just wrap up in your own self.
Well, I mean, also if you're prepared, can't you deal with it?
Oh, well. Yeah.
You prepare yourself by getting fat.
Yeah, exactly. Giving up. I'm learned my lesson on. I've been locking my car up every night, and then after I went to the dentist for a routine cleaning, and I got sent home without any cleaning, and 2-hour appointments for fucking deep cleaning.
What?
So yeah, like every fucking quarter of my mouth needs an hour, I guess.
Oh wow.
So
it's been a while.
Well, it's been 2 years. But the problem is I have good teeth. I don't have to worry about cavities, so I get a little reckless with gum care. So she said I have infections in several areas in my mouth, and that leaks somewhere.
Oh my God! When you go in, you need to like have a Xanax, take a nice big Xanax. You get in there, and then have them do as much numbing as possible, because if you went for a cleaning and they sent you back because they didn't have the proper tools, then
Yeah.
they are going to
And-
fucking tear your
and-
shit up when you go back in there. It's
and
gonna
I'm
be
not
brutal, dude.
I'm not sure, but I think he just said infections,
Yeah.
which is different than needing something cleaned for certain.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are a
Well,
lot of
yeah.
doctor, you got a minute? Can you come take a look at this? It's like
Mhm.
when they're doing those the numbering for your gum,
Yeah,
the receding.
yeah.
I'm guessing you got a lot of 5s.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Seven,
they mistook
nine.
me for the Night Stalker. My teeth are no. He had some
Hey,
bad sound.
Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez did not. He did not do any kind of fucking dental care. That guy.
The serial killer was not a diligent flosser. Is that what you're saying?
I think that is one of the advantages of deciding to go on an 18-month rape and murder spree like Richard Ramirez did. I mean, if you figure, fuck it, I'm going out.
Well,
You don't have to floss.
if you want to date,
There are tiny victories there for you.
I'm not sure he was dating, but I mean, having bad breath is, you're not going to get too many yeses when you're asking a lady out.
That's again when you're not asking. I
Yeah.
guess you don't need.
Right, yeah. So
He gave him a chance.
he
It's
was
just
no
that
take.
a bucket of teeth, all mismatched, didn't really open any doors.
And he was, I don't know. It seems like a lot of people, when like I considered, like, man, maybe I should just go to Mexico and get fucking way drunk and then just have them do it all in an hour. Just have like 4 dentists, 4 cleaners going at it. And but why
You
didn't
can't
Richard?
have, Andy, you can't have 4 sets of hands.
Well,
It wasn't that they were like short on staff that they couldn't take care of you.
Well, I
It's
could at
like
least
if they
have
just
2
had
people
4
working.
hands and more tools.
2 people working, one on each side working top and bottom.
No.
and then
You have
switch.
to remember, Andy didn't grow up going to the dentist. This
That's
is all
true.
new to him. I like that he still keeps referring to them as cleaners. That's beyond that now, Andy. The cleaner's job is done.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah. And you know what though? That guy had a bad grill, and I don't know that they brought it up in his court much, but he still got offers for dates.
Well, Andy, I think much like your predicament, his lighting is really bad in this shot. I think that stark overhead spotlight. It didn't do him any
Right.
favors.
There.
Yeah, that's a poor attempt at duck lips right there.
Yeah.
Well, she did the cancer screening with my mouth, and then she goes, "So, do you still chew tobacco?" And I said, "I never really have."
That's not a good sign.
But then later when the dentist came in, and then she goes, "Oh, so he's quit smoking," which isn't what we talked about at all. And I said, "I never said I smoked. I smoke weed." And then they both go, "Oh." And then the dentist goes, "Did you do a cancer screening?" So it's like, yeah, I can answer this. This is a bad Abbott and Costello routine. Yeah. Yes, I've been reminded, but I'm going to go, that movie Christmas Story when the kid brings his report about the BB gun and his teacher gives him an A++. That's what I'm hoping when I go in, because I got a month. Like, I'm going to need a montage, and I'm going to brush and floss.
A Journey song. You got Journey playing while you're flossing.
Spit a lot of blood out, and then gradually just a little bit, and then I go in there, and then when she's like, "Wait, I don't have anything to clean. What'd you do?"
That's not how it goes down.
Well, don't be a naysayer, sir.
The last, I don't want to scare you, but the last time I was at the dentist and I heard the word infection, it's because apparently I had a cap on one of my front teeth from a bicycle accident when I was a kid, and apparently some infection had gotten down behind that and had been in there for years. So they had to yank all that out, and then they had to scrape way up here inside the bone, up underneath my nostril, way up into here to scrape out infection that had been inside the bone for years. So hopefully you don't have any infection, Andy. Maybe you heard wrong.
I had my headphones on, so when they were giving me some, that stuff you don't want to hear. It's stressful or whatever.
Brushing tips.
I just kind of turned up my music a little bit and let them, and then they go, "Do you get any questions?" And I go, "Yeah." So we're not doing anything else today. And then
the thing is, Andy, when you're talking to a doctor and they're giving you bad news, it's also your diagnosis. You're supposed to listen to what they're telling you so that you know what to do.
I kind of feel like they were living in the worst case scenario. And I'm in my head thinking I can beat this thing by some,
You're like, so they're like,
it just work a little longer. We got a couple of rotating brushes.
They're like Fauci and you're like Trump, all that plaque is just going to disappear one day.
I don't know that I want to do this, but
like a miracle.
Would it make sense if you had something like a vibrator and just trump it in your mouth and then run it low, just to kind of loosen that tartar up?
I'm thinking that makes sense.
Sir, we've got to do 4 root canals on you. We're gonna have to reschedule this. So I just need a better cleaning. All right.
Yeah. I heard tools in the toolbox kind of talk, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I know what those are. There's floss, and then there's those other things. But it's, I'm gonna cut it down to 1 hour cleaning. I'll go in there regular and go, bitch, I hope you're ready to do all of it in one sitting. I won't call her bitch until the pain. I said, sorry, that's just my pain reflex. Bitch. I don't. I keep quiet.
Have a Xanax. All right, we're back, baby.
There it is.
Here, I have thought this seriously. Why not? My teeth are to the point of being fucked up enough and expensive enough, and it hurts when you go in there, and it's always it's stressful and bullshit, and it sucks. Why not just have them pulled and have dentures put in? It's like a one-time deal. Yeah. Your teeth are then you just fucking drop them into a cup. You don't have to fuck with them. Like,
did you see Jim Kelly's new
I don't know. I know there's a reason why we don't all just do that, but for a society that will, put silicone in your chest to make your tits bigger, I'm surprised there aren't people who just go, you know what, fuck it, I'm done with this. I'm not going to do the cleanings, I'm not going to do any of that shit. Just pull them out, put the fucking perfect dentures in.
Could you imagine just like get it all down the gums and then get a Coke tray? You fucking drooling out the side of the tray, just cocaine right into your gums. You won't even need to snort it anymore.
See?
Fuck yeah.
And I have a good idea, Andy, and you make it better. That's what I love about you.
Yeah, fuck it. Who needs to eat? What is corn on the cob? It's just a challenge you don't need. I like corn, but I don't need to be challenged. Come off of that. I know. It is painful. I do, but I do like, I don't know why I like having teeth, but I guess I've never had to go without them or anything. So maybe it'd be all right.
I mean, honestly, I think about it because like my teeth sometimes hurt now and I have to go in. I just had a root canal and then I got to get another tooth that's dead. I got to have it pulled and get a bridge and it's going to be expensive anyway. So I'm not saving any money, and it's always something, it's like there's a ton of time spent on dental hygiene and care. Chaille, you missed the part where I suggest I'm wondering aloud why, with all of the problems we have with our teeth, we don't just dive in, have them all pulled, and have dentures put in. One-time deal, fix everything, drop them in a cup every night when you go to bed, put them back in all fresh every morning. Done.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Corn on the cob, brother.
That's what it came down to here too.
Actually, that's what happened to my dad. My dad wasn't in the service, but he grew up at a time where I think brushing teeth wasn't a thing they used to really talk about. In the military, it's called trench mouth, and it's from not practicing dental hygiene. He had trench mouth as a teenager, and the option that he chose was take them all. So he had no teeth for most of his life, and it was grueling to actually watch him attempt an ear of corn.
Oh man, why do you do that?
I think my mom was in her like mid-30s when she did exactly that, Erickson. She just had so many problems with it that she just went in and had everything taken out and got dentures. And she was, like I said, mid-30s.
Look, if corn on the cob is the only downside to not having this whole dentist thing solved in a one-time deal. I mean, Andy, you're talking about going in and having all of it done in a one sit-down deal. I'm talking about the ultimate one-time deal.
Yeah, they could take them all out in 4 hours.
It's brutal, man.
Keep me really doped up for a week or however long it is while you're in pain from it, and then fit me for my new teeth, and I'll see you in a month.
I could start playing banjo probably immediately.
But dentists are pretty stingy with the drugs. I mean, look at how they fucking give you that Novocaine.
I'm not worried.
You're not even sure it's in.
That's well, and another problem with dentists, it's like, okay, it's like my health is affected by my teeth. Then why ain't my fucking health insurance covering some of this shit? I got zero fucking dental coverage.
Yeah.
So of course it's 2 years since my last cleaning. Oh yeah, I'm not. You know what? I've never been effective at all that other shit because I didn't grow up learning that. And so it's like, if it's a health problem and it's leaking down there, could you write a note to my doctor so I can take it over there and then he can okay
Get
this
a referral.
Yeah. It's like fucking bullshit. Like of course people's teeth are all fucked up. If Big Corn was running the show, Big Corn, and they made more profit by keeping it on the cob, they would definitely make sure that we had better teeth out here, motherfuckers.
If the world was just like that.
Come at it then.
Everyone with like big fat teeth. They figured out how to genetically modify our teeth to make them bigger, so we'd eat bigger corn on the cob.
Well, that's what I had. My teeth have an overbite, and that's what some of the kids would say about but you can eat, I don't even know what that means. Oh, it looks like you could eat corn on the cob easy or some shit like that. I'm not fucking raking it against my undergrill and then turning it and letting my upper teeth saw it off. That's cruel.
That's the trick they use at food eating competitions for corn on the cob. They'll take it and they'll just scrape it down and they'll put their bottom jaw out and they'll just rip it like a machine, like that's going to go into a can.
It feels like crooked or gap teeth would be an advantage in a corn on the cob, at least aftercare. Like it wouldn't help you with the contest, and you'd probably leave some kernels in the gaps. But if you could make
There'd be a whole row missing.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have to fucking get in there with the floss or anything. Why do they make your teeth tighter? The looser they are, the more that shit falls back out, and you don't have to fucking go after it with a thin piece of wire to fucking hunt it from your gum line. It's like, fucking don't cram my teeth so close together. God damn it.
Well, I think maybe, Andy, what you need to do is take them headphones off once in a while, and they'll tell you. Because if someone's wasting their breath telling you this, you're just not listening.
Yeah, they were telling me something, and then it just faded into I'm looking for a girl with faraway eyes. And the Rolling Stones.
And he's like, what?
Yeah, just let me up out of this chair. I'll be back for 4 hours. I'm gonna enjoy that 4 hours because I will be
froze.
That's got to be some root canal. I mean, for 4 hours, I don't know. That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
I think they pad that a little though. Don't be afraid, Andy.
Yeah.
Don't tell Andy not to be afraid when I'm trying to scare him.
I'm scared of it, scared of all of it. I wanted to throw up in the, they put those slides in your mouth and then the metal fucking thing and just bite down on that. Like, no problem. Why don't you just get a fucking pistol and put it all the way up in my throat? At least I can think about something happy. Instead of fucking jamming a fucking thing just to tell me how bad it looks back there. Shit, man. There's a reason.
They put that thing, bite down, and it digs into the roof of your mouth and in the bottom of your fucking mouth as well, and just mashes into it. You feel it slicing in.
Yeah, at least
Could make those out of foam, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, technology.
Yeah.
Put some really sharp edges on these plates.
In
that we
like
gotta
one of the
put
most
in.
sensitive areas of your body.
Mhm. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm ready to go without. Just because a grandma or two has ruined that by kissing you on the neck and now toothless is disgraceful. My brother Larry, he don't have any. Well, he's got new teeth and they don't fit, but he looks happy enough.
That's the thing, okay? Like the toothless thing, you don't have to not have your teeth in. My plan of having all of the problems erased and getting the dentures done is that I'm going to have my teeth in most of the time. I'm not going to hang out. I'm not going to entertain. I'm not going to see people.
Yeah,
I'm not letting people come over to the trailer without my teeth in.
Plus, you could have like different sets. You could put in your Gary Busey teeth when you get drunk.
Yeah.
Fucking
that's
partying
true.
down.
Yeah, that's right. Why would you only want one set of one look of teeth when you have you could be a master.
These are my Tuesday teeth.
Yeah.
What did
you
Ed
only have one set of teeth?
Plus, if you were, rest his soul, Shawnee Rouse, if you were a biter and you could leave different indenture marks in the neck of a victim or a friend, and they might not be able to trace the crime back.
Oh, you pull out your your biters.
Yeah, I'd like to think of
your regulars, your daily wear.
Yeah. I'd like to think if Sean was a healthy guy, he would have been crawling in windows and biting women on the
neck. He would have been the night crawler.
Yeah, he liked to eat. He got pretty comfortable in them places. That's the thing, man. That was the first killer I was real aware of. It was like an 85, 84, 85 in there. And he really was all over the place.
80.
That was what made him interesting, is he had no signature move. He just come in and ad lib. He was probably one of the best ad libbers in the murder game.
Did you see, I'm assuming some of this is because you watched the Netflix show about him. I had no idea that this dude was, you talk about going on a run. This dude was not only raping and killing people at night, he was molesting children during the day. Entirely separate sort of crime spree. Like he would molest children during the day, go home, get a quick dinner, and then head out and put in another solid 10 to 12 hours.
Right.
Like this guy,
Not to mention research.
Yeah,
they were going to call him the Moonlighter, but they thought that wasn't a very good name.
He was the James Brown of he did. He put in a double shift and on times, and that's where like Ted Bundy. He's like, throw one broad in there, and that's good enough for 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
Ramirez, forget about it. The goat.
Yeah, I don't think he had time to brush his teeth.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, he probably saw those toothbrushes at places and had no idea what they were. Yeah, he was.
That's a weird brush.
Oh, and plus he worked. He worked. He worked all of California. Mm-hmm. Like L.A. on down to Arcata. Like, shit, man.
That's some range.
Yeah, he's kind of like. Well, he was like me in the fact that he seemed to just kind of get by. Like he didn't make a lot, but he, probably take a couple bucks here and there. And,
do you think he had a Venmo? He put his Venmo out. Write his Venmo in blood at the crime scene.
Or PayPal.
I just remember Night Stalker because I was right at that age. I was an AC/DC fan. He wore an AC/DC hat, and that was his song, the Night Prowler song. And everybody was freaking out because he was an occultist.
And also, they drew him up to look like Lou Reed. And the sketch photo where people, because he's like the sketch photo freaks you out in and of itself. Like he's a slee stack of sorts. He has no real facial features. But that one, just fucking don't leave your door open. That was his thing. And sometimes he'd jimmy a window. But also that was interesting because the fucking cops could have had him like 10 times, but they were all pissing contests. They didn't want to share information or anything, so they could make the arrest. And then he murders another 30 people. I guess we should share that.
The Netflix series, I could feel the shift in it away from trying to be viewed as having glorified anything Ramirez did, because it was all about the cops, and you could tell these cops have told these stories like, hundreds and hundreds of times, because they would pause for fucking laughter at dumb parts that other cops would have laughed at, that normal people don't think is funny, so you could tell, but it was really like, it was like cop porn, it was like really. I mean, the one guy, Gil Carrillo or whatever, he really did do a pretty decent fucking job tracking this guy down and putting some shit together. But also just the amount of like, glorifying the police for the amazing job they did. Like the dude was killing people nightly. He was gonna get caught eventually. Like you can't run through a minefield like that without eventually stepping on one,
Yeah, there's always something that's going to happen that you can't expect or plan for. And the more time that he waits in between, that's just more time the cops are ramping up on stuff. I mean, I've seen Law and Order episode or two.
Yeah. Well, I like the two partners, years after they retired, they're driving around at night in the squad car talking about like it's the live case.
Yeah.
Wait, 30 years older, motherfucker.
It's like that's like me and you riding around talking about that gig in Idaho Falls that one night. Remember that night? It was great, man.
They loved
this. That's kind of what we are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. All we need is a squad car, and we can cruise around. Yeah. It was a pain that Netflix is the go-to for murder porn now. You can kind of get a couple different takes on it, but that one was definitely fucking cop leaning. This guy was I wasn't a fan or anything, but he kind of had a big following after he got busted and in the court and shit.
I think that the way the series went, the way they did glorify the police is as much an effect of not making a conscious decision not to glorify the perpetrator and not knowing what else to do other than you have to fill the time talking to somebody. So if you're not going to be, talking about Ramirez's background and all of his shit, you're going to be talking to the cops. So it's going to be more cop friendly and cop like fetishy, But I think that's just because there is so much true crime happening that there's a backlash of, hey, should we really be fucking, making all this money and exploiting all of these people, so that if they don't focus on Ramirez, then they're not doing that.
Yeah, those stories are, I don't know why they they appeal to me, because I'm not exactly looking to run into a guy like that, and I don't think they're fucking cool or anything, but you can't turn away from that shit.
They're popular with human beings. That's why there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll notice sometimes Jenny and I will watch some and we'll be like, did we saw this one? And then I'll be like, no, we saw a different version of the same exact story. That's why.
Yeah.
So it's
we saw the Dateline version. This is 48 hours.
Yes.
I've seen like 5 John Bonet specials.
There's one, Andy, on Netflix. I think it's like called An American Murder or something like that. That one was different. That one was when the guy had an affair and killed his pregnant wife and his 2 daughters.
That was the worst.
The problem that I had with that one is the whole time they would go through and they were like painting this picture of their relationship by sharing actual text messages and stuff. And they're trying to paint what an asshole this guy was. And the whole time, all I could focus on was, dude, your wife was a cunt. If you hadn't killed your daughters, I would be on your side at this point of the documentary. That's how much of a cunt that chick was. And I don't think that was the goal of it, but that's...
Well, it's like that Carol...
Hey, Chatty, are you talking about the American Murder, The Family Next Door?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That was
It's like
fucked
Carol
up,
Baskin
man.
became the, like Tiger King. He had his fucking animals and he treated them shitty, and he's a fucking weird tweaker. And then everybody focused on that Carol, who looks like she probably did murder her dude or whatever. But it's it gives everybody. I wish people would get more back in tune with fucking filling their head with garbage TV and shit like that. Because it's like, man, you can fill people's heads with that, and they'll stay on their couch. But you start telling them there's a bunch of pedophiles eating babies under a pizza parlor and the fucking shit. They're fucking storming the Capitol. Just watch the Kardashians, man. You weren't
a lot of
meant to get
people need
political.
a purpose. That's for sure, man.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, there's a lot of them fucking people feel like they were told to be there by the fucking commander in chief who, it is very cult-like, man. It's going to be, I hope they all get punished. I hope they all get, depending on their role, the lesser ones get like a smaller jail sentence, but they lose the ability to vote, own guns, get dental, or get dental. What was the other one? Can't fly anywhere. Just like fucking take away all the perks of being a person. And then they can fucking, oh, no, I'm sorry, you can't have it on Sinclair radio. You get too excited. Sorry, no mainstream news for you. Control TV and everything, and fucking
And the beautiful irony is, it's all the people who yell at their kids to stop playing video games because video games are gonna make them violent and radicalize them.
Yeah, man. And fuck that shit. It's like, it's just there's just not much that would get me sparked up to go travel across the country and raise a ruckus.
Andy, you put some mileage down for some things.
Well, to raise
you
a
deliver
ruckus.
T-shirts that can easily be thrown in the mail.
But here's the thing: is those guys probably the planners? They probably were partying. They had their tents and their lines and shit. But the hoople heads and the rubes, they just show up and they're like, fuck, man. And that's why they all got into the Capitol and were sparking up because they were afraid to do it outside because they'd get blasted. So they got all fucking in a group and they're all smoking reefer thinking it's the best thing ever. Well, you should have seen the white dope that was in the fucking planner's tent, you fucking idiots. That's where before storming anything, I would have kicked over them tents and found that fucking Coke stash.
Where was this report, Andy?
Well, they were dancing in the tent and fucking whooping around the Gloria, and you could tell fucking anywhere Junior and Senior are, there's going to be some fucking white dope.
Oh, you mean back at the tent. The start of the rally?
Well, in the green room,
the green tent.
Yeah, like all these fucking assholes, and they go storm the fucking Capitol. Now they're gonna end up in prison or losing all their shit or whatever, and they didn't even get high.
I did see a video of a couple of people passing around a joint.
Yeah, but that's just
a couple of big fellers out of breath because they had to go up those steps, and then I can't believe it. We're in. Oh, hey, can I hit that? Can I hit that? Look, smoking weed in the hall of statues. It's the greatest ever.
Like, they got to put together a fucking comedy video of all the fucking Stooges and the dumb shit they said in there. Oh man, but yeah, it's gonna be a fucking wonderful shit show. But my biggest it's like anything though. It's like I don't know any of these people, but I just want to see them punished because I know if I did some shit like that, I would be expecting the full brunt of it. I wouldn't be like, well, fucking Joe Biden was fucking winking. I swear he was winking. He stuttered and then he winked at the TV, and I know that was a message to me to show up here at the White House and take a dump on the fucking front lawn. Just gotta fucking
there's gonna and it'll be frustrating if there's some people who end up getting lenient sentences or passed over altogether just because of the sheer enormity of the crime. There's so many people involved that some people are just gonna be able to hang back. Like when there's a whole group of you sent to the principal's office, it's a lot better for you.
I don't think there's any indication that they're holding back though right now. They're getting the obvious ones and they're still working
I hope
at
not.
I want everyone who
no fly list, fucking no more country western concerts. None of that shit, everything they got to do was fucking because they were Americans and they participated in democracy, fucking, I'll bet it broke a lot of hearts when Garth Brooks come out and sang for Joe Biden.
I think so. Yeah.
There's that was probably a lot of fucking shot glasses being thrown at the TV.
I told Jenny before, I said the only reason that the word treason hasn't been thrown around with this is because there's so many motherfuckers that it'd be a really hard sell to execute that many people because that was that many people.
That's why they have how many bullets can you put in a big banana clip? Just let a bunch of fucking real patriots mow them down.
Well, a lot of states don't have capital punishment, but I mean, it'd be life, or at least
make Kyle Rittenhouse kill them all, every single one of them.
I'd have to look up the definition of treason for sure, but I think if you get found guilty of treason, you are murdered no matter what. Yeah. There's no other.
But I think you have to have capital punishment on the books to be able to.
You're talking about treason as obviously, I'm not a lawyer either. Treason is a federal crime. Treason would be a federal crime, though, so it would be a federal execution, not a state.
I don't like
thing. And DC isn't even in a state, so
that's true.
There's that. It couldn't come into play there.
You can't commit a crime in a gray area. Get out of here.
It's international waters, bro. We can do it.
The death penalty is cool, and I think that they should have a thing like I've thought about, how I'd like to end up. Catapult people, like, you may not die, but you're going to be fucked up. Get on the catapult, treasonous motherfucker, and then launch him 100 feet, and some of them are going to live, but
you think they'll learn their lesson?
Yeah, if you set the catapult right. I think one time on a catapult.
They're just limping away.
Well, if somebody walks away like that, reset it. You throw older people a little less far or whatever, But I don't know. I'd like to see that, and then you could put it on TV, like just all the treasonists are getting launched at the stadium. Fucking $15 for tickets. You could go fill the thing up. They could do a little. This guy was, and then show a little clip of what they did, and then everybody go shoo, shoo, and then fucking poof, and they go shoot across, and then fucking,
We could catapult treasonous offenders at Tom Brady and see if he can dodge them all as he weaves his way down the field.
See if his hair gets a little white in it. What a fraud! That guy's totally dyes his hair.
Hey, according to deathpenalty.procon.org, quote, the death penalty in the United States is primarily governed by state law, not federal law. Although there is a federal death penalty, more than 98% of the men and women on death row across the United States are incarcerated as a result of state laws. In Wikipedia, it says it's capital punishment is a legal penalty under the United States federal government criminal justice system. It can be imposed for treason, espionage, murder, large-scale drug trafficking, or attempted murder of a witness, juror, or court officer in certain cases. So you're right, Chad.
So basically, they did all of that.
Yes.
Just about.
The drugs themselves.
Except for the cool one. The only one he didn't do was the cool one.
Which one's that?
Large-scale drug trafficking.
Well, but they have them.
Right. That's what I'm just saying, if you're going to commit all these crimes and you didn't even commit the cool one, you committed all the other ones.
And honestly, it's hard to feel sorry for people who committed crimes on TV or photographed themselves and had a GPS marking their location and took pictures of it. Some cases live streamed it and shit, It's like I think the rest of us need to see this punished just for its sheer stupidity.
And to really think that these people thought that they were going to pull this off at some point, like they were taking these steps like, all right, the next thing we need to do is secure the Senate. And then we got to get these pages and we got to take them down to this guy. Like, I mean, obviously they're all batshit because they bought into the whole Pizzagate QAnon thing. But did they really think that once this all happened, everybody in the world and in the country was going to go, okay, you're right.
Well,
We're just going to let Trump be the president. Cool. You know what? Good point, bullhorn guy. You've convinced me.
I think they also believed that they had the backing of the military once they did this. The military would come in
enough of them
back
showed up.
Once
Plus,
Trump would be the president again. They didn't realize Trump would just leave. I'll march with you.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I guess Ted Cruz
Trump
and him
is
are
like that guy when they ask for volunteers to take one step forward. Trump and all of his guys take one step back. What the fuck? God damn it.
Oh man, how funny would it have been a Borat in that fat guy Trump suit on a Segway going past everybody. Let's go! Fuck yeah, man! There he goes. He's one of us.
That would have been...
Yeah, they fucking, it's. You couldn't really ask for, it's you knew there was going to be more to it when the election day. You knew there'd be more to it, but he pretty much got a bunch of his fucking people there to try to overthrow it. And Trump has trouble estimating crowd size and all that shit that or whatever. Like, but in his head he thought there'd be 10,000 more fucking warriors there. And they would have overthrown it. And, in his mind, he's fucking overthrown. He comes in and spits in Nancy Pelosi's face and shit. And is he overestimated his military might. The people he had, there were some deadly characters in the mix and shit, but there's so many fucking turds in the punch bowl. You might as well just get rid of it and start fresh, So he's undone by all his fucking, he just thought it's like when me and Brett did those road shows, we thought there'd be way more people showing up and it would be worthwhile somehow. And instead it was
we definitely overestimated our war chest. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yes, we should have done more tweeting.
Yeah. We were getting shadow banned, I'm certain of it.
Yeah, we got canceled. Oh, well, here's the thing about Trump that I read. Bon Jovi, when Bon Jovi he was part of a group that was trying to buy the Buffalo Bills like 4 years ago. And it was before that, but Trump was another bidder. And the group that Bon Jovi was a part of, he was the face of. And so all of a sudden there was just all this negative shit about Bon Jovi. And it was just underhanded. Trump paid some dude to fucking spray paint fuck Bon Jovi and shit around the fucking town and start a negative campaign against Bon Jovi. So bullshit, if you need another reason to hate the dude, is he fucking he wouldn't have even got the team because there's accountability at least on that level, the NFL, as far as ownership.
Oh no, they never would have sold him anyway. That was the part of the story.
Yeah,
he wasn't even in the running. He still tried to fuck up the deal.
Instead of just trying to strengthen his deal, he goes after Bon Jovi. Like, fuck you. I know his music's a little soft, but fuck you.
Yeah. Bon Jovi is the koala bear of 80s metal. He's cuddly and soft and sweet, and he's not bothering anybody.
I don't know who's
let Bon Jovi have the Bills if you want.
Every time I see Bon Jovi now, I think, is that Henry? It looks just,
Henry
I'm
Phillips?
not saying Henry. Yeah, Henry Phillips is old Bon Jovi looks like young Henry.
Yeah.
Or something like
that.
They
do have some similarities.
But, yeah, so anyway, fucking, it'd be nice to go, well, we don't have that guy's out of the news now, but he's about to be on the trial of the century in 2 weeks.
It's pretty telling that Donald Trump, that the NFL is an organization that is so important. There is no way they would ever let Donald Trump be a part of it.
Yeah.
But yet he was able to infiltrate American democracy and worm his way right to the very top. Easy.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a bummer he got us.
No one who built a career in politics was able to step in his way. on the Republican side.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it was just like I remember that first debate, and it was just it was I was laughing until I cried. I was listening to it in Utah by myself, Levine's van with satellite radio, and just listening to those guys. It was just like the worst fucking noise you can imagine in that empty canyon, and shit, and it didn't get any better. It just kept going on.
It was funny at first because he was doing it to Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, and you're like, oh, my good, these guys suck. I hate these guys. Yeah. So, let go at them. But
they're shameless. It's a fucking Rubio, you can fucking people blast him every time he tweets something and he'll still fight. He just trolls people with Bible verses and stuff. Like, motherfucker, where do you drink at, Ted Cruz? Everybody should be wanting to know that. Well, let me buy you a drink, Ted Cruz. Let me come out there. I'll meet you, you little treasonous scumbag. I mean, fucking, the guy's younger than us, or me anyway. And look, he looks like a fucking Grandpa Munster.
He is.
Just fucking. Oh man, I like the murder. Like I would like to be Richard Ramirez in the Cruz household. I'd just be like,
you think Cruz looks like a Grandpa Al Lewis from the Munsters?
Yeah, he does.
He does. He does a little bit.
Yeah, if you slicked, he fixed himself. He could definitely pull it off on a Halloween,
like a Halloween thing.
Asshole Comic-Con. If there was a
Comic-Con, it'd be one of those things where he would just go to Halloween and people would be like, "Oh, Grandpa Munster," and he's like, "What?
What?
No, I didn't."
Wait, it's Halloween?
Maybe Grandpa Munster would go out in Halloween as Ted Cruz. I think Al Lewis is probably no longer with us.
No, he's dead.
Yeah. Was that his name, Al Lewis?
Al Lewis, yeah.
Getting him confused with the congressman, but two different dudes. Did a lot. Both of them did a lot for civil rights. Grandpa Munster made it okay to be a Munster. You know what that dude did?
Grandpa Munster was the first, he was a scientist. He was doing a lot of experiments in his little basement laboratory. I think the Munsters were just following the science.
Yeah, he was a scientist. He was also a fucking baseball scout, I believe. I might have that wrong, but I believe Al Lewis was a baseball scout.
A Munster movie where they made Herman a pitcher.
He probably.
Is that what you're talking about, or real life?
I think he was a real scout. I don't know what team. Now I might be wrong on this, but it's somewhere in the back of my head, and I did not research this today. Al Lewis, baseball fucking guy. You can't be Grandpa Munster at every. He could probably ride that out for a few years, probably 10 years.
He still probably had Car 54. Where are you? Money.
He should have been doing some.
Yeah.
Definite Halloween appearances if he didn't,
Oh, I'm sure he went to anything.
What's her name? Elvira. He's got a little tucked away. That was trying to think of Addams Family. That was with the kids. Yeah, Thing was Thing and Addams.
That was Addams Family. Addams Family, I don't know how you guys feel about this. Addams Family was a far superior show to the Munsters.
Way better.
Gomez Addams, John Astin as Gomez Addams is one of the greatest comedic portrayals in television history. The funniest shit. He cracks me up. I can still watch that. It holds up, man. That guy's great.
It's on Pluto TV. It runs 24/7.
Yeah.
It's on its own channel.
Even as a kid, I knew that the jokes were more intellectual on Addams Family than I'm like, oh, this is like the dumber version of that one, the funny one. Well, I like them both, great. But
he was like a business tycoon, so he's always like reading his stock ticker tape and chewing on his cigar and barking out orders at people to buy things or sell things. And, there was a lot of frenzied action happening in the Addams household. It's always fun.
Yeah, and schemes and stuff. The Munsters were just like fucking. They were kind of like the Three Stooges. They didn't go do a whole lot of deep thinking over there.
Wasn't that you were going to say Three's Company, which is even closer. It's just a lot of dumb fucking circumstantial shit all the
time. And there was a normal one, right? On the Munsters, they had a normal daughter.
Same with Yeah.
I thought all the kids. I think that Addams Family were all askew.
Well,
Yeah,
Tuesday looked normal, but she was creepy.
She was creepy. They were all creepy.
Or Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fucking
They
yeah.
aborted Tuesday.
Tuesday, the aborted sister, the aborted fetus in a jar.
Didn't they have shit in jars there? I think they did.
Hugs.
Yeah, Morticia was hot too, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Carolyn Jones.
Ooh.
Yeah. And she could pull off doing other. She wasn't typecast because she didn't. That wasn't her real hair. That was a wig. Yeah.
Same thing happened to Sean Connery.
Mrs. Munster was hot as shit too, though.
She wasn't bad.
Yvonne DiCarlo?
Yeah. She wasn't bad.
I can't think of even.
She was in westerns and stuff.
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah, it's obviously she was wearing a wig too. I got it. Hold on.
Why do they call it wearing
for Andy?
Yeah, Mrs. Munster. Okay.
Yeah. Hell
yeah. I can picture her face in a lot of black and white movies back in the day.
It seems like Herman Munster would ruin her for other men, though. You know what I mean? Like he's
you don't want to follow that.
Probably why she didn't stray from Hermie.
Probably where that white streak of hair came from.
I liked him in My Cousin Vinny as the judge.
Great.
Yeah, you think a guy like you forget about him.
Fred Gwynn was a great actor in and of itself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I bet that show didn't last that long, right? Munsters probably have a 3-year run, 4-year run.
The Addams Family didn't last very long either.
Let me see here.
It seems like the Munsters was short-lived, but
the Munsters had a bunch of things that came out after. I did see this. I saw a thing on YouTube where they had different incarnations, and one of the guys who played Holmes in Yo-Yo, he was Fred Munster. And you just want it to be Herman so bad, like Fred Gwynn. Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. But they had cartoons. They had a couple of regular shows and a couple of movies. The Munsters came back and did a movie late, I think in the 80s.
Yeah, I remember
with Herman,
because it was in color.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie was in color.
Check this out: 2 seasons for the Munsters, 70 episodes.
Jeez.
Wow. Holy shit. They didn't like to take the makeup off. He's like Alex Trebek. We're going to bring in another fucking team of writers. They're going to punch up this one while we do this one. It's like who was I talking to somebody about? James about, like, my dad watched the Three Stooges and he fucking thought it was hilarious. It was like one of the times that my dad would just laugh and he would cry. He would see, this is not the first time he'd seen the episode neither. Or it's like, just a fucking standard episode of the Stooges, and my dad would laugh at it. Like the face slap was a new reveal every time or something. I couldn't, and then I watched it, and I would watch my dad. My senior year, I didn't have a lot of classes because I was didn't want to take them, and I didn't have to. And I would go watch it. My dad watched the Three Stooges, and then it's like Christianity. I thought at some point I would feel it or get it, and I never really did. And I still sit and watch the Three Stooges and go, guys, it's not fucking good. Like, you wonder, did those guys ever go, hey, look at this script. It's a piece of shit. Give it back. Punch it up. We're not doing this stupid shit. Fucking head punch. But they just kept churning those out. Those guys were around forever doing those Three Stooges, and it was the same dumb shit every fucking episode with a few variations, but mainly the same dumb shit.
Classics though, man.
I don't know. I mean, I'm with women on that one. I don't think the Three Stooges is funny at all. Fucking Shemp. Why did they even try with Shemp?
Because Curly Joe, he had a stroke.
Yeah, and he was
Shemp had a career all his own, and they pulled him out of a movie career to keep the Three Stooges going, and he did that begrudgingly. And then Curly never came back. He became
another Mo. They lost Curly, and then they hired a Mo.
Shemp was great. Are you kidding me?
His hair was all, I don't know. He did the same thing as Curly, only without any closeness to humor. Not woo woo woo.
He did a spit take.
I never thought it was funny either.
Yeah.
I was always more of a Marx Brothers than a Three Stooges. That always seemed like the difference to me, like the Beatles versus the Stones. You know, it was either like the Marx Brothers kind of shit or the Three Stooges, and I always preferred the Marx Brothers.
I think my dad just liked that sort of shit because I remember we watched Naked Gun, the first one together, the movie. And he laughed like that, like when OJ fell, you know. I don't know that my dad had any problems with OJ, but he just found that, you know, I think he found that to be the ultimate in humor is somebody getting hurt.
How ironic.
I know. And I'm a sensitive, you know. I guess you got to draw the line at like laughing at vigilante movies. Like, I don't think you would laugh out loud watching a Chuck Bronson, but it's like, why not? He's just escalating it, you know. Instead of a head slap, he's just shooting him in the face. Problem solved.
Yeah, you just got to make a funny noise after he gets shot.
And I mean, okay, I think there was there was one Three Stooges episode where they're riding on top of a bunch of beer kegs, and the beer kegs rolling down the hill and knocking over cops. And maybe I just got a ticket or whatever, but I found that to be funny.
I like the Three Stooges, I guess, but I always was just kind of under the impression that there was about a dozen episodes because that's all I ever really saw on TV as a kid. It would always be the same shit over and over again. So I didn't even know until way later that there was a whole catalog of these things. But that's a little redundant. I agree with that. I thought they were good when I thought I saw all 12.
But I think they just rolled them out like before a movie. So you go to a movie,
yeah, they
and
did
then
shorts.
there'd be there was the one. You don't pile kegs like that, dudes.
You do if you're the Stooges.
I saw "Swinging to the Alphabet" so many times. I know how to do that fucking song that they sing.
And you wouldn't even like you'd want to clarify. So I'm employed here. Okay, you know, before we start loading these beer kegs on the truck, you know, should I sign anything before we start? They were a fucking charge ahead group of Bukowskis. Yeah, I'm ready to take the job on. Did they ever really get? I don't think they ever really got fucked up neither. Like on the episode,
have bandages, like exaggerated bandages on their heads or something like that, but it didn't stop them from hurting each other more.
I thought Larry should have fought back a little bit more. You know?
Yeah.
If he would have just got Curly to side with him, they would have beaten the fuck out of Mo.
Yeah,
that's why I mean, they're classics.
Like the government, man. Mo kept the poor people fighting amongst each other, you know, so they don't turn on him.
Yeah.
Devious.
And Curly represented the working man, that's for sure. And you always wanted to see him do better. When fucking, you know, he just put up with a lot of shit. Just one episode, I would have watched all of them. It's just Curly was like, "That's enough, motherfucker." Just takes the rage, fucking just beats the fuck out of Mo, and Larry just takes off. I'm calling a producer. Yeah, call a producer. Fuck you, Larry.
Yeah. Turns into a Silence of the Lambs. You know, he's like beating, his blood just splattering up onto Curly's face.
The Lord of the Flies episode of the Three Stooges.
Yeah, from what I gathered, he was kind of an unhappy dude. He didn't like having his hair shaved all the time and drank a lot. You know, that's not a sign of being unhappy, of course. He was also an excellent ballroom dancer, but maybe he got a fucking stroke because he just fucking had to suppress what. And there were brothers too, so it's like, you know, it's like if my brother Jeff started a comedy skit and I was always getting punched in the face, you know. At some point, like,
that did happen, minus the skit.
Yeah, like Curly should have broke off and done a movie on his own where he just It was like the opposite of a Liam Neeson movie where he's just a guy getting the shit beat out of him everywhere he goes by different guest stars. He's trying to rescue something he ain't going to.
Yeah, he could have teamed up with like Buster Crabbe or somebody.
Yeah, it's too bad he couldn't have wrote solo. Mo would, fucking him and Shemp, fucking Larry would probably cut out. If Larry could have cut out with Larry and Curly could have done something together.
Larry seems like the guy who would have just retired and opened up like a little Italian restaurant.
Subway sandwich shop.
Yeah, just been like, fuck it, that was me. I was Larry on the Three Stooges for 20 years.
I was just going to call him the greatest Larry of all time, but I forgot about Larry Bird. So, it's 1-2 there. They're on my Mount Rushmore of Larrys. I can't think of a third Larry to put into that mix. Well, Larry Andrist.
Larry Linville.
Yeah, so there's 4.
Andy, you tweeted the other day, R.I.P. Larry, and Tracy woke me up and goes like, I think Larry, Andy's brother died.
Oh, no.
It was Larry King.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
We're both searching, and then all of a sudden, oh, fuck, it's Larry King, man.
Even Larry Andrist thought he died when he read that.
Yeah.
He's like,
well, and he was, when I went to his place there, when we showed up unexpectedly, because why would you announce you're coming to Larry? He's not going to pick anything up. You don't want him to stand up twice. But he was sitting there watching the Chiefs, and he was wearing the extra large shirt that I gave him, because I gave him a large, and I gave it to him. I go, Larry, it's a large. He goes, I don't fit that, all the water retention. And I looked at him like, fuck yeah, man. I brought him a fucking tight glove. So I got him an extra large, and then when I went back a third time, he was wearing it, and he's rooting for the Chiefs, and they win. And then they're on a roll. So I do still have some of them good luck charm shirts, guaranteed to put your team into the Super Bowl.
Right on.
Yeah, Larry King is gone though, and I enjoyed the interviews he had with comics that I hadn't seen. I'd seen the Henry one, Henry Phillips. You guys see that?
Yeah.
But he had the same questions with everybody. He was like, Henry oddly seemed to be the only one who prepared, because Henry had an thoughtful answer for each one, which kind of spooked old Larry, because he was used to comedians cutting up and shit. But yeah, who knew Larry King was so fucking old?
Alive.
Yeah.
No.
The morning that he died, I got up and I made my coffee and I sat down at a laptop and I'm, fucking around on Twitter and stuff. And I'm like, oh shit, Larry King died. And then I flip on the TV and I got the TV channel guide rolling. And on like 3 or 4 different channels, it's Larry King's prostate solution. And I'm like, goddamn, that Larry King is a fucking worker, man. Being dead didn't even stop Larry King from getting out there and making a little bit of money, man.
Yeah, I bet Tom Selleck will still be trying to convince us that reverse mortgages aren't a bummer deal from his fucking grave too. Tom Selleck, no, believe me, if these were any fishy at all, I wouldn't be involved here.
Yeah. Me, Magnum PI, I wouldn't lie to you. I'm on Blue Bloods. Would this mustache lie?
So it's just like you're getting your money back in reverse. Wow. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Except if you think about what the reverse of getting your money back is, then that is what it is.
You know how I know it's a scam? Because I thought it sounded like a good idea. That's how good my radar is I know if I'm interested, it's a fucking scam. Like, oh, it does sound right. Like, why should I be paying for a house? It should be paying me.
You have that insight, Andy.
I'm living here. I'm the one living here. Yeah. I'm getting, that's why I'm going to knock out this tartar. I'm, I got halfway to 60 without locking my car much. Bosses, and I haven't. I saw Hobo Danny, but I have not he sent me that he knows who's doing the thieving up here, and I have not.
Mm-hmm.
That's how, like, revenge is a dish best served cold. I've lost interest in my own hot burglaries. Like, oh man, the feeling when it gets stolen. I'd like to catch somebody on that bike and beat their heads in and shit. And I'm like, I'm enjoying not having to shuffle that bike around in the garage all winter. I wasn't going to go to them national parks.
I'm in full circle on this thing. I love it.
Yeah.
By the time you find out who did it, you'll end up just sending them a thank you note for the new life you lead now.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, I don't, the idea of revenge is not really but I know the law ain't going to take it into anyway. I got to go. I will follow up with Hobo Danny though, because it's like, I don't want to be like a cop and just say, like, I had somebody steal my bike out of my garage years ago, and a cop came out, and I was like anxious for him to get there because I had I knew how he got in. I knew, and then I showed the cop where there was it looks like a thumbprint, and we might have a fingerprint right up here. And he goes, "You've watched too many crime shows." What? I watched too many crime shows. I think I saw on the Brady Bunch how to lift a print, motherfucker. And that was 15 years ago, and he was. So it's like now I realize when I've gotten ripped off, then the cops send, it's like a recorded message that I can't even understand. It's like in not English, it's like chopped English, like okay, nobody's policing me.
You watch too many crime shows and not enough Big Lebowski.
Yeah, so
leads.
Yeah. No sign of the CCR.
All right, everybody. Let's pop over to Patreon for a little bit. What do you say? Thanks for being out there, everybody. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell your friends, and say hello to Andy Andrist on Venmo.
Linda Allen sent me a check, like a money order email, and I got a jacket I'm going to wear on Venmo with it.
On
Nice.
Venmo.
Thank you,
Venmo,
Linda.
whatever, not Venmo.
Venmo
You know what
works.
I'm talking
You're gonna
about.
wear a jacket on.
I'm gonna wear it on Venmo. I'm gonna wear it on Venmo.
That's Andy thinks it's an OnlyFans.
Yeah. In fact,
I'm wearing your jacket, Linda.
I'm gonna strip on Venmo and I'll be on Patreon wearing it.
That sounds like something you could do on Twitch, Chad.
On a strip?
Yeah. Hot studs on your Twitch stream.
They have some severe terms of service on Twitch.
Oh,
you got to be
I got in trouble there just commenting one time. You can't like get into the violence with violent talk.
Yeah, you can play a video game where you're blowing people's heads off with 50 caliber rifles, but you can't say, fuck you, I'll blow your head off with a 50 caliber rifle.
That actually makes sense to me, but it sounds ridiculous. But you should still subscribe to Chad's Twitch channel, and sure, you won't get to see the boys take all of their clothes off and dance for you, but you can still picture that in your own mind.
For.
Use imagination.
Yeah, it's getting warm out here.
There it is. Oh, hey, see, now that's what I'm talking about. Now that is a lead into Patreon right there, everybody. Now that we can do whatever we want over there on the Patreon, and that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to make a drink. We're going to come back on the other side and talk for another hour or so. So if you'd like to join us, sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/issueswithandy. We'll be right over there. If not, we still love you. It's all good. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. And we'll see you next time. Be well. Thanks.